Well, good afternoon folks, welcome to another review video. Okay, so to begin with, we're back in Africa, Central Southern Africa. This is Botswana, and you're looking at the default airport of MAUN. It's M-A-U-N, and the airport ICAO code is Foxtrot Bravo Mike November. This airport's home of the bush pilots. Basically MAUN is the main airport where the bush pilots fly out into the Okavango Delta and the Moremi Game Reserve and various other places to take the wealthy paying guests out to the luxury lodges and camps out in the Delta. Or made famous by the Bush Pilot series on the Dave channel, which I think was in 2011. There were 10 episodes on the Dave channel here in the UK. And so, as I said, to start with, I'm showing you the default airport as it appears in Flight Simulator 2020. Because we're going to be today reviewing an add-on that updates and enhances this scenery and just makes it look a little bit more fun. The update and add-on is freeware. It's not by any chance, any stretch of the imagination, accurate or so, but what it does do is really enhance the airport a little bit better. I'm in the process of having a helicopter Bell 47 repainted, after which we'll take a trip into the Delta and have a look at some of the animals. So here is the default view, and here we are, the same view, hopefully pretty much as close as I can get it, with the additions and updates to the scenery. Now you can see a few things off the bat. We've got some aircraft here, some new buildings here, and some enhancements here around the terminal area, which is quite important. So we'll get down towards the terminal area and I can show you the differences and what this chap has done to update the scenery, and I can show you a little bit about what he's done to enhance this airport here. So once again, as I said, this is MAUN in Botswana in southern Central Africa, home of the bush pilots, with flights going into the Okavango Delta. So I'm not going to be worried about too much about history. If any of you watch my Bush Pilot series of videos from a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago, something like that, I did a series of 8 videos. I'll put links in the description below. We'll tell you a little bit more about MAUN and the Bush Pilot TV series. But for now, let's get down close up and have a look at this scenery. So to begin with, let's do a little pass here over the main ramp area and have a look and see what the developer, the freeware guy, has done to enhance it. As you can see, little buildings, bits and pieces here and there, signboards with unfortunately no signs on them. We've got car parks there, buses, and various bits and pieces that really sort of update the scenery and make it a little bit more lived in, as it were. Looks really quite pleasant. And you've got everything down there to sort of clutter on the ramp. Control tower that does have partial internal work. There's also the fire station, various types of hangars and model aircraft sitting over there. And again, the addition of foliage in the right place and trees, all of which enhances it really quite nicely, I have to say. There's even an animated flag there. So again, we go to the other part of the ramp, looking a little bit further east, and here you can see more planes and more hangars and bits and pieces. And here you can see people along with light aircraft. Very nice job, and there's even a helicopter, there's a couple of helicopters over there, look. You will need 3 additional files, freeware utility scenery files, in order to get these enhancements to work the way they do. But that's not a problem, they're freely available on Flight Simulator, and I'll list them for you very shortly. But as you can see, okay, nothing fantastic, but little things that really do help to improve the scenery and the way it looks here on the airport. So once again, let's do a pass in the other direction and you can have a little look. Lovely helicopter models. These are all to be found in the additional utility files that you'll need for this airport enhancement. And as you can see, he's really worked on the hangars and improved those. It just looks really nice. Just some nice little buildings, nicely weathered, little bits and pieces there. There is also night lighting, even though this airport generally only operates between sunrise and sunset. But as you can see, nice little bits and pieces added to the airport to just bring it to life a little bit more. We're just taking a nice run back across the ramp here, and then in a moment we'll go close up to some of the little highlights and also look landside. Some really good light poles there. There's the entrance point to the airport. Animated flags, as you can see. It's been nicely done. It's quite a really nice touch. Some lovely light aircraft here. It all looks really pleasant. Really nice. And here you can see the main ramp, as it appeared in the default, has been slightly enhanced as well. Down there to the right is the Bell 407 helicopter that I've been using while I'm waiting to get my repaint done. So as we come up to this end of the airport, again, thanks to the little additional files that you'll get, these are the sort of models and little enhancements you'll get here too. A very, very nice Hercules jet there, transport aircraft. And coming the other way here, just looking sort of landside of that aircraft, you can see some other models. Little bits of buildings and hangars that all look pretty good there. Very nice indeed. Again, as I said, nothing fancy, but nice enough to enhance this airport. So a quick tour sort of landside, just to have a look at these. You've got the car parks with cars in there, road signs and hoardings there, which unfortunately at the moment nothing on them. Not sure if the developer's going to do anything more to this, but again you've got some nice flags there and the buildings. This is the main road, which actually used to be the runway before the original airport the new airport runway was built. So just going landside of these buildings here that we looked at earlier on, and as you can see, it just looks great. It's done a lovely job. Just brings the airport ambience and atmosphere to life a little bit more. Very nice indeed. Just looks great. I'm very pleased with it, especially as it's free, and I'm hoping the developer might do a little bit more to it. It's very nice. So a quick look at some of the highlights in the scenery here. Now remember, you'll need these 3 extra files, and I'll put the files up again so you can see what they are, what they're needed, and these 3 files will give you these little extra enhancements that update the airport. Here you can see a couple of fire station guys, fire engines, and bits and pieces here, which is nice. Here you can see the control tower from the outside. Very, very nice modelling. And they're looking from the other side. Let's go inside the control tower. So a quick shot from just outside the glass. You can see there is internal development. Nothing fancy again, but enough to make it believable. And very nice inside. A couple of quick shots from inside the tower. And another one there looking back across the main ramp. So there you've got the blast screen, and you've also got the big lights as well. A close-up look at some of the clutter. There's also the building there straight ahead. And there's the building, very, very nicely modelled. You can see the animated flags there in the distance. Again, I love the palm trees. And the lights look great. We'll see them when I turn the lighting down to dusk. Some nicely modelled buses. And here you can see the car park in general with some pretty decent car models. Fence line looks great. There's some road signs there, which as I say, I'm hoping that these might be done in some future update. They look a bit bland, but they're there. And as we run across the top of the roof of this building we've just looked at, we come to this area past the control tower where we've got these static planes. Once again, some nice models. They all look really good. Now to me this looks like the main fire control tower. No fire engines there unfortunately, but I don't know, it really kind of looks like that. Let's go and have a look at the helicopters. As you can see, a really nice model there, complete with mechanics working on the aircraft, and their toolkit there on the trolley. And a quick look from the other side, and a nice shot there just showing the engineer working and the pilot gesticulating all over the place. And interesting to note the interior modelling here of this model. It looks really good, very detailed. And this I believe is a French Alouette helicopter, complete with French registration there. Again, the model's really decent, even the instruments there inside. Then we have this one. Again, we've got some slightly animated people. Model looks really good. And once again, the interior of the aircraft is really nicely detailed. So these add-on files that you have to enhance the scenery, certainly pick the right ones. They're really, really good. Once again, another nice aircraft model, and again we've got animated people on the ramp that look really good, to be honest. Complete with baggage there on a trolley. See the buildings in the background look great. And once again, a very nice model of this Hercules here, with pilots and engineers here animated on the ground chatting away, and various bits of clutter around the aircraft. It looks really, really good. And here's a view from the other side. You can see an engineer there working on the nose gear to the right. And you've got 2 loadmasters and various crates and bits and pieces at the back there, which at some point will be loaded into the aircraft. And finally a shot here, just looking into this compound where you've got a couple of military trucks at the back there and various other bits and pieces. All of it looks really, really nice. So there we go, we've had a good look during the day. Let's turn the light down to dusk now and have a look at the lighting effects. Okay, 6:45 in the evening local time, and it's pretty much dusk. This is pretty much getting to the point now where the airport will close to VFR traffic or bushplane traffic. Obviously IFR traffic, such as that military plane, and Air Botswana flies in here from Joburg at least once a day, and they're obviously capable of landing after dark. This airport does have instrument approach procedures, even though it doesn't have an ILS. So you can operate here after dark, but essentially the bush planes, which are 90% of the workload in this airport, generally all stop working after sunset and don't get going again until sunrise. But here you can see some of the lighting effects. I've got this down to about the best point that I can, where the lighting just turns on. So we'll have a look at some of the little places here and how it looks and how the lighting affects it. So a quick look in here first, obviously, before we go further east and have a look at the rest of the pad. As you can see, you've got this great big light here that lights up the area nicely. Side lighting bits and pieces here on the buildings. All looks good. I also want you to particularly notice the lighting landside here in some of these buildings. Let's go close up to one of these. Here, for example, you've got this kind of parallax lighting that gives the effect that there's something going on in the building. I love all of this. I think it looks great in any scenery. We do have the once again the plethora of Asobo globes hanging in the air, which tends to sometimes kill the atmosphere, but that's fine. So as we pass back airside, we go over this aircraft, which isn't lit in any way, but as you can see, we've got blue airfield edge lighting around the around the taxiways. Let's sort of stray onto the runway and see if there's any lighting on the runway. According to the details, according to the air nav charts, there is lighting. So there's a quick shot looking down the runway 08, looking towards the east. You can see we've got precision approach markers there too on the left hand side. Okay, quick tour airside at dusk. That noisy aeroplane there. And here you get a chance to see some of the lighting effects. The lights on the stanchions there do really well. They light up the area really nicely. Some lighting, independent lighting on the buildings, which is good. And here we're getting to the main part of the ramp here. As you can see, lighting looks really good here. It's quite subtle, and you can see some of the screens are lit inside the control tower, so there is independent lighting there. And it all looks rather nice. Very nice indeed. Here we've got private fuel dump here. I mean, this all looks lovely. Very nice, and you've got some lovely aircraft there. Again, independent lighting on some of the hangars. All looks really good. Just very nice indeed. Lots of subtle lighting, nothing crazy, just enough to give some kind of atmosphere. And once again we'll track down the landside part of the scenery here, and again some lovely lighting, subtle lighting in the windows of some of the buildings landside here. No street lamps apart from the sort of hanging Asobo globes. But I think, as I said, this is sort of beyond the scope of this scenery really. But potential for this airport to be really enhanced. Everything's all rather subtle and all quite nicely done. It's very nice indeed. So there we are at dusk. Now let's just drop the lighting down, get a couple of quick shots at night for you. Okay, just before 10 PM local time, and here's the airport in the dead of night. There's the main ramp area in front of us, all lit up, with plenty of ramp lighting there. You can see the blue airfield edge lights, perfectly acceptable. The runway is lit, but there's no centerline and no green centerline taxiway lights. So if you're landing at night IFR, you're going to be relying on your nose gear lighting to get you to the stand. So up here we can see the threshold of runway 26, and this is where the helicopters are up here. And here we are looking in the other direction. Here's the threshold of runway 08. Here's the little hangar, and there's the Hercules and the other bits and pieces there just on the airport. So the town of MAUN is literally right next to the airport. It's not very far away at all. Runway 08 is the runway most used because of the way the winds are. The airport elevation is quite high as well, 3,094 feet, and in the high season, which is sort of like November till end of March, mid-April, temperatures can get up to 40 degrees Celsius here, so you're going to have to plan for hot and high takeoffs and landings. And here's a quick view just showing you just before dawn. This is pretty much where the guys will be out preparing their aircraft for the day's flights into the Delta. So here we are back just around about sort of 7 o'clock, 5 past 7 in the morning. This is where the flights will really get going and they'll start to take off. So thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this and I hope you like this little scenery. It's freeware. So I'm going to just list the details here now at the very end for you. So this is MAUN Airport in Botswana, Foxtrot Bravo Mike November. It's a freeware scenery by JACQUES BOTHA, version 1 for the PC. And I think it might be available for Xbox too, not certain. Download is 44 kilobytes, it's quite a small file, and install is 92K, so it's not very big at all. And it's available free from the FLIGHTSIM.to website. There are 3 additional files that you'll need. I'll put them up: Human Library Animated File, the totof-aircraft-library version 4, and the totof-helicopter library version 2. Installing those along with the scenery will give you pretty much all of what you see here today. It's a very, very nice little airport. So thanks for joining me, folks. This is Lee, your virtual airline pilot, wrapping up another review on a scenery, this time a free one, which I really like because I identify with this airport quite a lot, having done a series of videos on it. I'll put links in the description for you if you want to look at that series. It was made some time ago when I was really getting into video editing, but I think the videos stand by themselves, and I hope you enjoy this one as well as those too. So this is Lee saying thanks for joining me in this review. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.